What's going on, everybody? Matt Peck here. So, working on getting these weekly reviews done earlier and then trying to do a second live or just second video to showcase the setups for the week. It's actually a decent week. There's a lot of news. So, some trades were good, some weren't the best. But let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. So, as per normal, remember it was an interesting week this week with Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Here, so let me go ahead and just get my screen to scale for you. I do this. Yeah, as the day just ended. All right. So to start off, this was the yields. That was the 10-year yield. Dollar started off really strong, and then throughout the rest of the week, it kind of pitter-pattered on out. So nothing on Bitcoin this week, but I am actually looking for some trades over the weekend, so we'll see how that goes. Same thing for Ethereum. I'm going to watch it. It was a big sell-off at the beginning of the week and started to recover. Crypto, did reclaim some very important goals this week, which is good. So as gold stands, didn't take any gold trade. It did not take any trades on gold this week. It started off with a sell-off, and then there was some other news on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that it kind of is not ranging in this area, which is okay. We'll see how it goes. Silver. So I ended up taking a trade on silver and ended up breaking even. I got in Thursday night, stayed in it, and this really is where I should have got out of it, but it didn't reach my 1-to-1, which is typical. And granted, I could have brought my stop loss down to that last high, and then would have easily been 1-to-1 here, but that's not what happened. So it's all right. I gave myself a lot of leeway because I'm still trading with silver pretty scarcely. So I just kind of wanted to go through it. Ended up getting out break even on the new spike here, which is fine. US 30 took some trades, had a win on Tuesday this week. A really solid trade idea. It was 2.5 to 1 ratio. And then this super itty bitty tiny trade right here I took was actually testing out part of a strategy using the 200 EMA on the 1 minute. Ended up playing out well. Got out of it right in that area. It wasn't in it very long, but let it go through and do what it did. So not overly upset with that one. I was just trying something new out and seeing how it played out. NASDAQ. Took some trades there as well this week. This one here, which was really easy 1-to-1, got in the morning, out by the afternoon. Then this one, I actually played the news with it. Ended up coming out ahead on that one as well as a 2-to-1 ratio. That was on on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, didn't touch them. And then SPX, nothing. Oil, I had some markups for oil, and then I ended up not taking them. I was in some other trades and just wasn't there. Euro USD, did not take anything. GBP USD, nothing. They weren't on my radar trade this week, just with the way the dollar was last week and this week. Had some zones marked up for USD CAD, ended up not taking them. It came down to the zone. It never gave me a buy. It never gave me any confluences to take the trade, so it ended up being not taking anything on it. But I had some markups that were ready for it. USD CHF, same thing, nothing there. AUD USD was really looking forward to this pair. There was some really a lot of people I think going to get stopped out on it because this was the previous high on Monday, and then it came all the way back to it. I really thought it might be an entry point to take it sell, but today was just not the day for the dollar. So down here on NZD USD, this was a trade that came out. It was a trade idea. It was through a harmonic pattern. I got on it. This was one of my favorite trades for the week. I had these buy areas that were marked up inside of here, and it came all the way down into the zone, and then it came right there into a harmonic pattern and gave me a great buy signal. Ended up being a very easy, a little over 2.5% for that one. GJ did not take anything. This was my loss for the week. And to be fair, if I had thought it through, I would not have taken this trade today. It was not the trade to take, but I did take it. So it was a loss. ended up taking out a 1% trade on that one. And really, the reason it should not have happened was I did not take into consideration how weak the pound was, and since it was super weak, it just totally tanked it out. At first, I thought I may have came back up, but then the news hit and just fizzled out from there. So it's all good. GBP CAD, nothing. GBP AUD, nothing. There were some really good trade ideas that came across for that one. I'm not taking them. It just wasn't the right time for it. I've got strict rules when I do take trades on what I'm looking to do, and they just were not there. Nothing on that one. EJ. I'm still really shy about taking trades on the yen right now, just with so much going on. The yen being as weak as it's been, and then again, the intervention that happened, I don't trust it. So not taking anything there. EuroCAD, nothing. Euro AUD was not on the list. Euro Chef. There were a couple of really nice chef plays that came into effect, but it was just how the currency was playing out, but ended up not taking anything on it as it was. AUD CAD. So AUD CAD, I took a trade late this afternoon. I'll show it to you in a second. It's not on this market. It was on a different one. I'll show you what actually happened to it. And then CAD JPY, once again, the yen pairs are just not there for me. Chef was on the board, but ended up not taking them. And yeah. So anyway, those were the pairs I actually ended up taking. So I had a decent week. I did have, there was one trade, silver. This one trade I did take here was the one that was break even. So this trade happened at the same time that this GBP NZD pair played out. They were both of those today. So this was the loss. That was the break even. And then I had a couple wins as you went through US 30 NAS and so forth. So not upset with it. Impulse, I had some really solid stuff that came up on the 1 minute chart. And I was on AUD CAD. So on AUD CAD, the chart markup didn't save. So AUD CAD actually was working with Nick and was just going over how Impulse works and so forth, and just ended up taking right at the end of the day here, as it was. Oh, actually, it was right here. We ended up waiting for this area to come down. It came all the way down and gave us a great buy signal up. Ended up taking a nice 1-to-1 from down here in the 940 area all the way up to here. So AUD CAD was just a solid trade too, as it was. And then if we get in deeper, were some of the trades this week, and I didn't take any of these. It just wasn't the right week for me. And some of the pairs that were playing out just weren't there. But there were some very, very solid trade ideas that came across on Sci-Fi. And a lot of them were really good wins. Just once again, at the beginning of the week, kind of popped off, did its pull back. There were maybe one or two losses. That was a loss. That was probably about break even. This was a win. They came across. So once again, the one great thing about Sci-Fi is depending on how the pairs play out, there are just tons of trade ideas that come across each and every day from Tuesday to Friday. And it just makes for a really solid week as it goes through. So I'm still expecting Bitcoin to do some stuff this weekend. So if we're looking across the board, even an Impulse now, if we're looking at Bitcoin, let's switch it to the 15 minute because these will be intraday for me. Waiting to see if we get a pullback because we had this nice massive breakout here in the morning, and it's then kind of playing all these areas and it's reclaiming some very important ground for it. So we're going to wait and see what happens with it across the board for this weekend. If anything was crossword, I'll send it to the Telegram chat. So yeah, it was a decent week. I'm more excited about next week as it comes through. A lot of pairs are really shaping up to be fun. As I go through the strategies of what I do, because that's typically the thing I asked, is I pick pairs I'm playing based on what we call AGB, which are the EMAs. And then on those pairs, I look for either patterns or whatever the case may be in price action to see how it goes through. So I have a really good plan for next week to see what happens. And I'm planning on it being a very, very solid week. So yeah, that was it. It was a very simple week this week. A couple really good wins that were monstrous, and then one loss, one break even, and that's just how it goes sometimes. So yeah. Anyway, solid week. Looking forward to next week. See you, everyone.